Hello again, and today we're going to do a quick review of my cheap and cheerful Pulsar Chronograph Solar powered watch. Model number PX5007. I've had this watch now for a few weeks, so I think we can now do a review. But let's start off with the basics. It's supposed to be 43mm in diameter and 10mm thick, and I just want to check that, so let's have a quick measurement with my vernier, complete with the tape to protect the and yeah, sure enough, it is 43mm in diameter across the bezel, and thickness wise, oh hang on, it's not 10mm, it's closer to 12.5mm. So never believe everything, so never believe what they tell you. It's on a leather band, quite well padded. For the price, I don't think you can argue about that. It's even stamped here, look, genuine leather with Pulsar as well, so that's pretty damn good. And the strap is 18mm at the case. The case itself is of course stainless steel. It looks to be blasted, bead blasted rather than brushed, and there are no polish surfaces on it whatsoever, which I think gives it quite a nice tool watch feel. And the movement inside is called a VS75, which I've no idea what that means. But given that Pulsar are now owned by Seiko, I imagine that's a Seiko derived movement. And of course it's solar powered, and it's actually quite clever in that once it's fully charged, which takes about 5 hours in bright sunlight or a lot longer indoors, it will last 6 months without any more light at all. And according to the specs, just 2 minutes a day in bright sunlight will keep this running for a day, which is quite impressive. It's also waterproof down to 100 meters, which is fine, and it has a mineral crystal which Pulsar calls hard flex, whatever that is. It also has a screw down case back, pretty standard there, and the hands and the numerals are quite large with quite a lot of lume, but sadly the lume doesn't last that long. Within an hour or two it's pretty faded and it's difficult to read at night. And I've just brought up the watch on Amazon where I bought it from, just so you can see the dial a bit clearer. And it's a bit unusual in the way it uses these subdials, because here on the left hand side we have the running seconds, which is quite normal. At the bottom we've got the minute counter for the chronograph, which is also quite normal. But over here on the right hand side we have the subdial, which is not the hours counter of the chronograph. Instead it's a 24-hour hand of the time, which is a bit odd to say the least, and for me I'd much rather have an hour counter for the chronograph than a 24-hour counter of the time. Given it's 43mm, it wears quite small, which I think is down to the fact that it's quite slim, and it's a dull bead blasted finish overall with no polished highlights. It certainly doesn't wear as big as I thought it might do. So let's look at the positives of this watch. It's quite cheap, as I say, at £70. I do like the style, and of course being quartz it's very accurate, while the strap is of better quality than I would expect at this particular price. And now looking at the cons, that is things I'm not too happy about with the watch, there are 3 points that come to mind. The first one is that the chronograph seconds hands is almost impossible to see. I'll turn it on here, and it really is difficult to find. It's black, with a black background of course, with just a little bit of red on the tip. And it really is very, very difficult to see. It's just crossing over the minute hand now, so you can see it there. And now it's coming up to the hour hand, which gives you a chance to see it vaguely. And it disappears again. So not a particularly good design point. It would be much better if this running seconds hand was white and not black with a red tip. Okay, so we'll stop that and we'll bring it back to 0. And the second negative point is to do with the pushes themselves. Now obviously I'm used to mechanical chronographs, but with these you just need a very, very slight pressure to make them come on. And the pressure is so light that I think at times you may press it accidentally. And the third negative, which is the thing that really you do notice, is the crystal and its lack of AR, that is to say anti-reflective coating. It really is quite bad. I mean, watch this, look at that. It's really, really bad. All my other watches have really good AR, so I do notice this quite a lot. It may only seem like a small point, but when you're glancing at your watch constantly, it is really noticeable. So that's 3 negatives that I found, but for the price I really can't complain that much, because it is quite a nice watch for just £70. And I think for £70 it makes a great buy, and I would certainly go ahead and buy it again. So that's my quick review of this Pulsar chronograph. So thanks for watching, and cheers.